they're going to end here?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good for Complexity. I think they should be able to come strong here on Vertigo. They've had a good bit of time to reset. I'm sure being at home helps with that too. You can just take a bit away from the game, and now they can get back into things and get ready to show us why they picked this map.
I certainly hope so. I want that to be the story as well. I think we deserve that third map. So big welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to the second stream. There is obviously the main stream also going on, but Hawker and I will take you through the evening with Alan as well, providing some analysis along the way. Complexity on the T side, FPX on the CT side, and they are going to be quick up the A ramp, trying to see if they can put some pressure on. They've got that deep Molotov to try and force anyone out, but no one is there, and there is a four-man stack, about to be 5 here at the bomb side. Poison, though, will land the first kill on Sender, take him down. He's going to be dropped, and now it's just trading all over the place into a 3-on-3.
That bomb's dropped. They have to commit to this A site to get that back. Rush will do just that. He's going to go ahead and try and get that down, but they might be pushing him. Oh, that bomb is planted just in time, and now they get a chance to play that post plant.
Oh, and Blamef, he was actually back there with a P250, normally a very powerful position in an afterplant. Config trying his very best. And at the end, as we're just watching Blamef's long descent, he's going to hit the pavement at one point, guys. It's coming. Oh, there's a cone there.
He's joined a cone. Wow. That was unexpected.
I mean, he was already dead, so I guess it can't really have been painful. But if you were going to fall from like 52 stories, I feel like landing on a cone would just be adding insult to the whole thing, you know? I feel like that would be unwarranted, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Well, that's a rough beginning here. What can we say about that?
Yeah, not much, I think, honestly. I guess we'll see what we can do once we get back into this second round, because Complexity have plenty of money and a couple of AKs that they've decided to spend it on.
Oh, man. Yeah, FPX obviously looking, I think, individually really crisp. I mean, Stiko was playing really well. Sen was playing really well on that first map. But as a team, that's where they looked so well-oiled on that first one. So if it's going to continue in the same fashion here on the second map, yeah, I mean, Complexity might not even have a chance. It's early days, so I don't want to be, you know, too alarmist about it. But the fact that they lost that pistol round, you know, they probably need that boost of energy early on here, especially after a bit of a break. And they did buy into this round after the bomb plant, so that's interesting.
A lot of firepower for them. Not as much utility, but you only need a couple of smokes onto this A site to try and muscle your way onto it, if that is indeed what you want to go for. It looks like that is the idea that Complexity have right now, but this boost could cause some issues.
Yeah, Madden is here. Nice kill onto Poison. That is really going to be helping out. Bit of a start, and it also, I think they also realize now that there are, you know, real weapons in play. If they couldn't guess already, then now they definitely know. Sen, not a great fight to take against the AK-47, but he's got nothing to prove. He can just wait here. They can't really grenade him out, and he's going to win the fight against Config anyway. And this attack towards the A-bomb side just gets completely foiled. FPX taking care of that easily.
Yeah, so quick. They had a lot of players in position. They had that right side, that short side mollied off, so I think that helps them a lot. They're only focusing on that one side of the push, so they can have a couple of players looking at those angles, and as soon as they start to win those fights, it becomes a rather convincing round for FPX. Another strong start for them. A couple of AKs even in their hands early on the CT side. That should make this round even easier going up against those Deeks.
Yeah, that's what you dream of, isn't it? On that CT side, if you can get that AK-47 or a Krieg or something like that, if you can steal one of those over, that always feels so good. So just Deagles and FPX are really under no pressure here to try and do a lot. They don't actually have to go looking for much of anything. They could just relax and play this round out slowly, see what comes. It looked like there was going to be a run boost of sorts there, but Config's already down to 7 health, and they're just going to try and go for it. It's a nice attempt, but a little bit of a reposition for Sen, enough for him to get the second kill. And I think they're going to be fine this round. FPX is, again, looking real good.
Quick flash deployed. JKS has been boosted up, but I think you can see Zen's aware of the possibility. It's actually Madden who comes in to steal that kill away. Huge rotation over to this site. No way that Complexity can get anything going. A clean sweep for FPX in the third round. But finally, Complexity can get that full buy in their hands.
Yeah, the first real test of what we're going to see here out of the complexity side. And just to remind you, I mean, we're playing for 9th to 12th place here in terms of the RMR points. It does make a difference. It is important. So, you know, even if the chances to finish all the way at the top are kind of not there for any of these teams, you still can't really just, you know, can't just relax and think of this as nothing. Those RMR points are going to be stacking out all throughout the year. So you want to take it seriously. Madden's already gone down. That was Blamef winning that fight over on the A ramp. That is great news, but there's a stack at B already. FPX, I don't even know how they know to do this. What's going on here? Oh, no! And Sen is going to find at least the kill. Stiko's there on the follow-up. He does get the grenade off, and I think they've seen the bomb, but I mean, they can fall back. It's at least a 3-on-3. What a wild play from FPX.
Blamef will get that bomb back. That looked like a hard read from FPX. I know oftentimes teams will have plans in mind for the first couple of rounds of the game, so maybe that's a go-to for complexity, an early B-sided play, who knows? But FPX certainly seemed to have a good idea as they stack it early. Pretty even on the health points, though, after that stack, and now the CTs are spread somewhat thin. Emmy's the only man committed to the A site, although, just as I say that, the rotate of Stiko is arriving to help him out.
40 seconds on the clock, and they still have a Molotov on Emmy, so, I mean, if that alone, that tool could just be so valuable in this kind of a late round scenario. Bit of a nade, I think it's going to land in between them. So, yes, it doesn't really do that much damage, and Emmy goes down. Stiko, though, with a return through the smoke, and the bomb goes down into the A bomb site. So, yeah, 2-on-2. These were unwinnable on Inferno for complexity. FPX won every single one of them. So hopefully that is not going to be the story. Blamef in a really hard position to clear, especially if he's got some teammate there. But oh, Falik, he shoots him right through. And eventually Blamef has to come up from behind his cover to get shot in the face. And now it's Rush on his own, 1 versus 2. He's got a single kill yet. They're on the bomb already, and Falik will take him down. It is another 2-on-2 that goes the way of FPX.
Oh, everyone was so low on health at the end there. Rush landed 1 shot. It was close to being enough, but Farley gets away on 16 health in the end. All came down to the reaction times, and even though Rush fired first, Farley comes back at him. And that spot for Blamef getting cleared out makes a huge difference. It does end up being an A-sided play. It does end up being a bomb plant, which gives Complexity the ability to continue to buy. But I'm hoping it's not the same story repeating itself from Inferno, where we had a bunch of close rounds, and then Complexity could just never actually win them.
I mean, it seems almost cruel, doesn't it? You know, if you were going to win in 2 maps, at least don't let them all the time think that, you know, that it's going to be like, oh, almost like more 2v2s. It's just heartbreaking, isn't it? But that is in fact what is happening, at least so far. Now, let's see. They are 3 over towards the A side, but they don't feel anything there. And they're going to start to draw that defense back and maybe a little bit closer to the middle. And they have, I mean, right now, only now, Farlig is really showing up towards the middle. So, I like this from FPX. They seem so responsive to the kind of pressure that they're feeling or not feeling on the map.
This is where Complexity will start to gain some of that ground back, though. Poison the man leading the charge up ramp, and wow, FPX are clearly aware of it. They've heard enough to start to stack over to A. Just always adapting, always making sure they have players in the right places, and Madden's the man aggressive early, catching Blamef out. They want to fight this, but Rush and JKS come right back at them. Headshots all across the board, and just like that, the A site is lost.
From 0 into 3 kills for Rush. That is a really nice comeback into the early half here. Stiko set up in a nice position. Going to be a straight headshot to take down Config. I don't know how much more he can really expect to do from here. But that looked like it was almost some kind of a domino effect there. As soon as they got the first kill at the corner of that A-ramp, it just spiraled out of control. Stiko has got the right... Yeah, he sees the gun barrel, and he's just going to take down Rush right through, making it at the very least expensive. There is a kit on the ground. Unlikely for him to win the round, but he gets one more headshot, and now he taps the bomb. Does he hold it? He's still got another second here. Oh, and his poison going down. What an outrageous play from Stiko. 1 versus 4 turned into a victory.
How does he isolate all those fights? 1v4. It's all 1v1s at the end. He gets that first one, sure, you can understand that. Config just having planted the bomb strays out into the open. That's still a really cool angle to hold from Stiko to begin with, though. And then he starts to just turn it into one-on-ones. JKS was committed aggressively to the angle, and Poison had to try and look to the bomb at the end, but Stiko baits him out. Complexity can't buy a round win right now.
Just when you thought 2v2s were hard to lose, that is so outrageous. He played everything about that so incredibly well. And Complexity, they probably didn't even think that that was possible, so they didn't think about helping each other out. They were like, well, what? He's not even going to come, is he? And then by the time they realized, it was almost too late. Now, not only are they winning the fight at the A ramp, but Sen is pushing down, and so is Stiko on the other side, so they're actually flanking this. Now, weirdly, the entire A defense has been wiped out after the fact, but I was going to say this double flank could really work wonders, though. Let's see if they're going to be aware of it. Blamef is looking. He's still going to be going down. And we've got another 2-on-2. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. A nail-biting scenario for Complexity with how this game has been going so far for them. Zen's coming round. He spotted JKS, but JKS fights back, and that nade won't do enough. It does damage, but he needs the bullets, and he's got the angle onto the sandbags. It's a 1v1. No kit currently, but he has a smoke. There's kits on the ground. Zen's desperately searching for this kill, though, and Config has been so elusive. Still no kit in Zen's hands. He finally picks it up, and he might just have to get on it now, but he can't find it. Oh, dear. No way for Zen to win this one. Config plays it with his brain to win the one-on-one.
Yeah, man, you wonder if any of those kits were closer to the site, if you didn't have to run around quite as much, that could have been a very different outcome. But they do, in fact, win the 2-on-2, and that's in spite of the fact that that round had a pretty dreadful start. So, good stuff for Complexity. I'm glad to see it. We need a lot more of that kind of play, but, it is a start, if nothing else.
It puts FPX down to a position where they've reinvested almost all their money into this round. Only Zen has any considerable cash in the bank. These nades have been pretty good for FPX, though. Early in a previous round, they did some nade damage. Now they do some nade damage early in this one on the B side of the map. Poison and Rush both down to about half health. And a bit of presence put towards B. Draws out some CT utility.
Oh, they're right on the other side. Stiko's got what could be an incredible one-way here. He's trying to duck down. It's just fading in front, but it's Config instead. Somehow able to see him a little bit earlier, and it is so dangerous to play around those smokes. I think maybe he should have had the advantage, but it's always very, very hard to tell from those angles. So, nice pick off at the beginning. 4-on-5, and with a minute left, which is a long, long time on this map.
Still a couple of smokes too for Complexity, which they can put into this A-bomb site. Again, that's one of the nice things about Vertigo. 2 smokes is all you need to really cut off a lot of those angles.
You're definitely right. Oh, Emmy looked like he was going to get caught out in the open. Sen is there for a bit of a crossfire. He's smoking up behind him. Farlig is there, nearly getting that kill too. It's a 1-on-2, and Farlig will take down Blamef. They didn't actually have that many people defending that bomb site to start with, but it's somehow just lined up for them. I actually thought Emmy was going to be dead almost for free then.
Yeah, that was a really weird round. I thought Complexity might just set up with their nades, but it seemed like the one smoke came, but the second one never came. They were just going to try and push in and trade it out. And it just ends up being an absolute bloodbath in favor of FPX. They'll take that, but it was kind of hard to keep track of just how all those kills came in so quickly.
All right, so a slight moment of celebration. Hawker, like all of like 20 seconds for Complexity so far in this first half. They're like, yeah, oh, we're back to losing again. And this is really unexpected. I didn't see it coming, but I did say at the beginning, it's always fun to be wrong on these things. And FPX they're giving us a really amazing dose of reality right now, which is always unwelcome, but sometimes needed, I guess.
Yes, at least for Complexity. Unlike the UK and Eurovision, they have got 1 point on the board.
Single point. They made it. Tragic.
Definitely not mad about it. Definitely not mad, of course.
Well, I said earlier, I think the play has to be to have Endpoint field an all-British lineup and put them in the Eurovision. I think that's where you want to go. Like, get that. It can't get worse. That's the upside, right? It just cannot get worse at this point.
You've got the CS vote on lock there. All the CS fans will come out and vote for them.
Listen, everything else that's a meme this year is kind of working. So like, I feel like just go with that, keep that going, and it's gonna work eventually. It's 7-1 in favor of FPX, and I don't even know. Again, Complexity are getting kills. They're on the scoreboard now. Poison maybe a little bit lower than you would want, but it's not like they're not hitting any shots at all. They're just not winning the important rounds.
Yeah, it's always the key moments where it feels like it falls apart for Complexity. That is an excellent shot to begin with from Config, though. We know he's capable of shots like that. Great to see it coming out in this round. And now with a two-man lead, Complexity should, and I stress the word should, have a really good chance to win this one.
Ooh, Config trying to escape. He did actually try to bait out that fight a little bit. Emmy coming through, and that was... looked like it was through the smoke. Somehow taking down Blamef. That is wild. And now it's back into a 3-on-4. We've got plenty of time. Sen will pick up a kill, but Emmy, look at him. He's right on the edge of getting one more kill. And if he takes down Poison, suddenly it's back in their favor, and he gets that one for free. Poison just was not expecting it. So that changes, what, from a 4-on-3 into a 2-on-3 in favor of FPX now.
Why did I even say that this should be a round win for Complexity?
I know.
Why would I say that?
Setting them up for failure.
Ooh. Oh, that molly's nice. Especially after you land the leg onto JKS. He's going to have a really hard time planting that bomb. And because of that, Rush tries to make a heads-up play.
Well, he's going to be going down. It's all on JKS. Oh, they line up for a big double. Farligan on the other side. JKS to take it down 1 versus 3. And that is exactly what they needed.
That's the sort of play that will pump them up too. If you've listened to their comms at times, they're the kind of team that do like to go off of that hype. They will be hyping themselves up. They'll be getting excited. I think that's the sort of round they needed over on Inferno, where they just couldn't break through. A big round, a big play from an individual after he got legged to begin with. He got legged initially, got left in a 1-on-3, and those two players at the gens both get taken down with headshots. Farlig tries to find his way through, but there was no way in for him.
In terms of getting fired up, right? In those, this is you're absolutely right. This is where you need though to get the whole team going. Like this can't just be like a 1 and then we're back to the same, because that's exactly what happened on Inferno. Even when they won a round, it was like in that first half, it was straight back to losing again. So yeah, we need to see some kind of team explosion behind. That was a great round out of JKS. Really, really. I mean, maybe he was helped a little bit by the fact that they sort of ran in front of each other, but whatever. Like he rolled with it once it was on the way. That was good to see, and they need a lot more of that. 7-2 right now. FPX still heavily in the lead.
And JKS even had to plant out in the open, which always feels so vulnerable because of that molly on the site. But he managed to do it, and he managed to find a way. Now it's FPX's turn to try and do something with the weaker weapons. Only the 1M4 for Stico, but this setup is so annoying. The transfer almost there. Emmy eventually taken down by Blamef, but it's even trade so far.
Another 3-on-3. They're pretty quick. JKS is making his way up that stairwell towards the B bomb site. He knows now that something is definitely up. He's going to put down that smoke even if no one is there, because it'll still bait out more nades. You can see they're throwing all their EGs thinking that someone's inside of the smoke, and nobody was. And Farlik, like a madman, comes through the smoke to take down 2 with the FAMAS. But that's a cool play. I mean, it is something that people do even over on the A ramp behind the sandbags. You put out a smoke that, or a Molotov that you don't really need to put out, but it just does a lot of work for you.
It causes you to have to clear more positions, and that's a big thing. Having to clear those different spots, you can't fully focus on one side of the site, which is oftentimes what teams are trying to do. You know, you clear out the sort of backside positions, and then you only have to be looking towards the right side of the site. But instead, it's just going to make it so much harder to have to clear out all those different angles and just constantly have that playing in the back of your mind.
Without a doubt. 8-2 though, and I don't know what they need right now. Complexity. I mean, we've had plenty of breaks, and they have an amazing lineup, but FPX actually just look like a much better team right now. That's crazy to say. I feel weird saying it, but it seems to be true right now.
based on the performance so far, yeah, they look much better. I don't know if I've seen that lineup before from Emmy. Oh, that smoke. Interesting.
Getting some new flavor in there? I don't know.
It's landed on the right side here.
Yeah.
Okay. So Blame F can't take that fight early. It's cool.
Well, we're learning something new. We'll have to go back and study it maybe at some point. Farlig is in the middle with an AWP. Ooh, and he peeked out maybe a bit further than was needed. He's going to get punished for that, though. Emmy will line up a double kill of his own, and Sen is also in there to try and help out. Emmy doing a lot of work in this round. And overall, he's 14-6. That's not bad at all. It's another 3-on-3, and the bomb, though, ooh, I think it's been lost, hasn't it?
It has, but Blamef is trying to lurk out onto A, and once he does, he could maybe try and catch someone off guard. Down goes Rush towards mid. Madden has just moved into that spot. Blamef had the right idea, but Madden eventually starts to read it. And now it's JKS with another 1v3 he needs to win for his team. And this time, they're not fighting him.
Oh, it's so tricky. JKS, he's going to get that one, but immediate trade. Madden takes him down. It is 9-2 in favor of FPX. Complexity, again, there's not even... He's not even getting the consecutive rounds, and that's what you need at the minimum, right, to do some real damage to the enemy team. But they're not even getting that far. This is a real disaster. I don't even know what to say. I'm shocked.
CT economy low because these rounds are fairly close. Round, you feel like you can maybe break through and start to get something actually happen here, and it hasn't so far.
No, not really. 12th round, Emmy's checking, sneaking in. This is some of the stuff that I think Alan was talking a little bit about. Them being fairly aggressive at that ramp. Now, they are going to get punished for it, but it is still one of those things, and especially when you're this far ahead, I feel like you're going to be even more incentivized. You want to try and see if you can steal that advantage back early on. So I still think it's really cool, but a bit of a shame that he got caught in the way that he did. So we'll see. 9-12. More than a minute on the clock, and they need to win every single round here, Complexity. They don't have a lot left, it feels like.
Pumping the brakes pretty hard here after getting the early man advantage in this round. I like that Complexity are doing this. I think it gives them a bit of time to talk about just the intricacies of some of their pushes, ensure that you have the right idea on the trades. Poison snuck the way up onto A. He's going to hear Farlig. He might be in trouble. Nade in hand. Poison comes round. Madden is at least able to get it back, but it's an even trade that Complexity will be pretty happy with. They hold that man advantage.
3-on-3 now. Sen will pick up a kill, and they're bringing the bomb back with 20 seconds, but that's being read, and the flashbang, that was a team flash. It almost took down JKS, but they're gonna get the kill on Stikio anyway. Down to 15 seconds. They need to make a cross in here, but Sen is holding the position with a Galil, so maybe not the most ideal weapon. Third player is coming in to try and help out, making a bit of a jump, but the bomb is on the ground, and the round has been lost. Just that one kill was enough. There was nothing they could do from there on out. Man, what a hard game this is right now for Complexity. Nothing is working out in their favor.
Slightly surprising to me that we don't just see Complexity group up once they got that 5v4. You see them spreading out heavily, having a couple of players move into A. The trades ended up working out okay onto that A site, but it looked like they were trying to sell a fake, and they only had the smoke for the one side of the site. They only had the one follow-up flash. So I guess FPX just didn't fall hard enough for it. They just decided, you know what? We only see one smoke. We don't think this is going to be the full A take. They stick to their guns on B. They get back there in time.
And even that, I mean, is in itself impressive from FPX point of view. You know, it's not easy to fake them out. It's not easy to make them over-rotate or do anything crazy like that. They are just... They're looking like a solid team right now. It's Emmy at 14-8. It's Madden at 13-6. So the two leaders right now on the board. And that's really impressive. And now I am starting to feel like, to some extent here, Complexity, even on the fragging front, are starting to fall just a little bit behind, you know. They're maybe not having quite enough of an output. They've got that one AK though on Rush, so maybe that will be the difference.
I'll be hoping so. around the corner, but Zen's got a tight angle on the hold, and the AK delivers. Quick fire double. BlameF eventually tries to fight back, but Farlig's still up close, and he's not seen anyone poke their head round the corner, so he's going to try and reclaim this ground.
Yeah, great information to get, apart from the 2-on-1 trade. Just getting the follow-up and realizing that no one else is going to be there. He's going to keep pressing the issue as well. He's all the way around, so he really knows now that they're not going to be there. He goes to check the ladder, and if he's going to keep going down, I mean, he can flank them either way, whether they go A or B. It's just a question of timing for him. He's still just moving up, and in about a second, he's going to realize, nope, it's not the A-bomb site. And let's see, Stiko, he's holding over. He's got a smoke, and he just has to hold on. He just has to not die. Or get the kills.
Kill. Ooh. Oh, it's an awkward spray battle, but eventually JKS gets it, as does BlameF. So all of a sudden a 2v2, but this is the flank.
Oh no, they didn't even get the bomb down, so now it's a one-on-one. BlameF, though, on point, and he's going to try and fake it out. Emmy, though, not really falling for it. He's going to go for a little bit of noise then. Now it's getting awkward. 16 seconds on the clock, and BlameF, he's out in the open, and Emmy will take him down. Just a one-on-one, and another clutch goes the way of FPX. Outrageous.
Yeah, gotta give huge props to Emmy in this game.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to be a huge fragger for this team, but he's so far delivered pretty well. On this map specifically, he has been fantastic. And then, yeah, that move from Farlig was just great. Just getting them that information. They're able to get back towards B. They're able to get that flank going, even though they lost a couple of the early kills. It's all looking good right now for FPX. It could be another one-sided map for them and a very one-sided series.
Yeah, shockingly so. I certainly did not see this coming in any way whatsoever, but again, I am pleasantly surprised. I'm really, I've been enjoying FPX so far in the tournament, so, I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to do this, but my expectations are just going to keep growing for the next couple of times that I'll see them play, and I'm sure we'll be seeing them more, because this is just really well done. 11-2 in their favor, 14th round coming up, and they're back making a little bit of noise on the A side, or the A ramp here is Complexity, but we can tell that the bomb is kind of leaning the other way, so this is just an attempt to try and get something done. Config, big opening, and they will just shut it down. Yeah, bring the bomb back. That's it. I don't even know what to say. That is just like a great find, isn't it?
Yeah, it looked like FPX just completely were looking away from that position, maybe thinking the smoke was going to keep them safe. Clearly not the case, though. And FPX don't have much money. I'm slightly surprised Stiko's sticking around, but he's got the first kill. Bomb yet to be planted, which gives them a bit more time. I think FPX may have realized this is not winnable and maybe not even savable with JKS coming in on that lurk.
Yeah, finally, things are safe on the Complexity side. And it looked like that smoke that went down at the corner of of short there, over on the ramp, it almost looked like, Config just happened to be at the right place at the right time. It's like it goes down and he sees, wait, there's a huge gap in this smoke. And I'm not even sure if FPX were expecting that, so he just goes for it. That's crazy. So, a third round on the board here. Very late, but, I mean, it could still make a difference, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be a really weak buy for the last round of the half on the FPX side. Got that MP9, but they're not going to get much more. Should be pistols on the rest of the players. There's a second MP9 to add into the mix. Although I suppose on Vertigo, there are options for those close-range fights. There are options for close-range duels. See what options FPX decide to try and take.
Yeah, really on both sides, right? Like either the B stairwell or the A ramp, you can get pretty close, so maybe they can find a use for it anyway. Oh, nice early fight here. It looked like that should have been a spray down completely for BlameF, but the CSET 75 comes into place and is going to get caught in the middle of middle. And, well, now it's looking real good. Complexity trying to get that fourth round. It is another 2-on-2, which is always a bit worrisome right now. Farlig, I don't know, trying to bump into someone inside of the smoke, I think. If that's a way to play it. You look at your own radar, you could see if you're still moving forward, and you can try and catch someone like that. Emmy gonna get found coming up the flank, and that leaves Farlig in a 1 versus 2.
Got that AK from the smoke, but now he's got to use it. Rush on the edge of Gens will come out for the final kill. 4 rounds for Complexity, but still a lot more work to be done. We'll see if their CT side can come through after the break.
Alright then, welcome back ladies and gentlemen. Second half coming up here, the second map between FPX and Complexity here at Flashpoint. And Hawker, it's nothing like we expected for that first half. FPX are looking pretty much as good as they were on Inferno.
Yeah, close to it. And they've got 3 sets of nades for this T-side pistol, so clearly something in mind. There's some noise faked towards the A-ramp early. It could bait out the aggression of JKS. He's just going to tuck into the corner in time. Good shot to begin with, but the trade eventually comes in from Stiko.
That's not so bad. I mean, that's the 2 for 1. He's far enough up that even if they get that kill, they probably don't just want to run right onto the bomb site. So big chance for a rotation, and FPX are now just hanging out and waiting. They have the smokes and the Molotovs to try and set up a wall for the bomb plant. I mean, it's a pistol round. Anything can still happen. Config is going to go check. And he's going to go really deep. He's going to find himself in this corner all the way at the edge of the building, which, again, he could do a lot of damage from back here if he's just quick with the USP. There's one, and a follow-up. That is beautiful. A double kill coming up from him. And now it's all on Falik. And he's already missing a couple of shots there. He's finally going to find poison. Still got about 50 seconds.
It was an awkward adjustment on the aim to begin with. Clearly not ready for a player to be so far pushed up. But now he can play with the time. Because there's so much time remaining, he can just cut the noise completely. And Complexity will absolutely be thinking to themselves, okay, maybe there is a possibility we have to go check elsewhere. BlameF has a look at mid, while Rush is playing this B site very passively.
Yeah, this is really cool, isn't it? They can't really afford to go looking for him, because that is really dangerous, and he's hoping that someone is close by so he could find the kill and then the bomb plant. But he kind of runs out of time. I think this is still a really cool play out of Farlig, but ultimately they're right on top of him. He has the Glock, and it shouldn't be doable. He's going to get one shot. Oh, I said that! And he does it, proving me wrong. What a fantastic 1 versus 2. I can't believe that he won that after he'd essentially lost his most powerful play, which was the time.
You know, if it was any other game, I wouldn't believe it, Anders, but with how Complexity have been struggling to close rounds in this one, you almost just feel like it's going to happen to them. He didn't have many bullets, though. He had like 3 shots that he had to fire to get those kills. So to transfer onto both of them is incredibly impressive. Those AWPers have always got that good first bullet accuracy. Comes through for Farling there, and now Complexity are in that same spot where they're desperately searching for something with the full spy.
Absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, just... I don't even know. It just feels like FPX, every single clutch, they've made some sort of animal sacrifice to or deal with the devil or something to win all the clutches. That's all they wanted. That's what they wished for. And here we are. Just, it doesn't even matter how ridiculous it is. They're just going to find a way to come through anyway. That has got to be so heartbreaking and just defeating for the side of Complexity. What do you do? How do you get the morale back up after something like this?
Oh, that's not the best way to go about it. Poison's already been dealt with. It's Farley continuing his fine form. Second smoke deployed. Didn't quite go as far as the previous one. And Blame Air almost caught out. Down to 14 health as he tried to get away with a cheeky nade. Still no commitment here from FPX, though. In fact, they're going to go back to B while leaving Madden here to just keep this pressure on. Well, Madden hears the rotate
seconds.
away. Oh, he knows.
Yeah, he does. He didn't check Blame. He had no idea. So,
Oh!
That gives it up. Oh, he comes back for seconds. So, well, I don't know. They just almost have to keep going, right? But it will have been heard. There's going to be a counter smoke coming up. What a wild round. I actually thought Blamef was dead, missing that first shot. Now, they're going to come running on to the site. And they're still winning the fight. JKS trying and failing to reload. He just couldn't get it in time. So, in spite of that being really awkward after that Blamef encounter, they just win it anyway. It's 13-4.
I think that's a good showing of how the information game can go on Vertigo sometimes, where Complexity flash into A ramp, they see it's fairly clear, so they start to rotate, but it's that verticality that we always talk about, which means you can start to hear those rotations away. Madden was close enough to hear the rotate away, so FPX come back from B into A, and it ends up working out fine for them. Even if they lose that initial duel, they come in with all the kills. That's a lot of damage onto Emmy early. Nade takes him down to half health, but quite a few FPX players set up around B early into the round.
Well, man, normally you can try and find a path for a team to get back into the swing of things. Like, like if just these couple of things work out, then there's something to build on. And I'm not even seeing it right now for Complexity. I really feel like they are, they're struggling to convert even the rounds that are, favored to them. Never mind coming up with something of their own that looks like it's going to have some sort of structure here. I don't even know what's happening anymore. It's Farlig and Emmy again, and I certainly am not expecting Emmy to be near the top of the scoreboard for this team, and he's doing a really wonderful job.
3 players fighting config. Not an ideal spot for him to be in. Rush is going to suffer a similar fate. There wasn't much investment from Complexity in this round, but they haven't been able to make it competitive. So they'll just be relying on this upcoming gun round. Yeah, just the fact that individually FPX are so strong here is a really good sign for this team. It's not like Complexity are bad. They've got a lot of strong players.
Yeah, they do, but they're not... there's something about the flow or just the way that this team is working out right now where it's not clear that any of them are even aware of that. You're not seeing them display any of the confidence that they should have. Like, we started this, introducing this, saying it's kind of hard to predict who's going to be top of the scoreboard for Complexity because so many of them could do it. But we've not seen much of that at all. I mean, JKS, credit to him, he's 17-16 right now, in spite of the fact that they're 10 rounds behind. So that's really cool, and I guess it seems like it's almost a shame that he's having this power performance in a game where they're still losing so badly. I don't know. It's kind of cruel, isn't it?
Oh, timing. Not favorable for config there. Could have been a cheeky off angle to maybe try and get away with 1 kill. Instead, he just has to put the molly down. I am slightly concerned whenever I see a CT buy without a kit, because there's always a chance that A play is going to come against you, and then that A retake can be really hard if you don't have that defuse kit in hand. So it's pretty important Poison can get something done early here. You don't want to be giving up that A site without a fight when you don't have that kit.
Yeah, that is a good point. 14-4. Poison, flash,
Ouch.
and kill. That was an AK versus an 8 WP, and again, it looks so smooth. And it's not even that it's necessarily that hard to pull off. I mean, like, the pop flash itself is just one thing, but they make it look so good. Really crisp. Config. A little bit further back, but trying to push up to help out his teammate, and they're doing the best that they can right now. Rush, not quite enough power in that M4A1 to take down Farlig as well. And at the end, it's JKS 1 versus 2, and the bomb goes down. And he doesn't have any of the tools, really, here, Hawker, that you normally want to try and clutch this with.
Yeah, if you don't have the kit, you at least want a smoke or something, some sort of utility to be able to cut off one of those positions. Instead, he has to be aware of every single angle as he taps the bomb, and they're just going to see he's not on it. They're both on that short side. JKS himself might realize that now as he looks for the fights. They double swing towards him, and Farlig finds his 20th kill and FPX's 15th round in what has been an absolute blowout.
It really has. Yeah, I mean, you're right. If he'd had a smoke or a Molotov, anything to work with there, but yeah, all he could do was try and tap the bomb and hope that they made a mistake, basically, and they're not really doing that much in this game at all. 15-4. The first map was, what, 16-6? So, yeah, it's unbelievable.
See if they can close it right here and now. Early ramp aggression from Complexity. They are able to get up close, and Flamef's gone through before the flashbang. That makes it much easier for Madden to take him down.
Hey, look, Hawker, it worked in the final round on that CT side on Inferno, right? They pushed the middle and just made it work. So almost feels like that's a kind of like, hey, let's just try something. This is all kind of messed up.
They did do some nade damage back, which is better than nothing. Comes that ramp take.
Yeah, they have a Molotov, though, to throw on to Rush. He's, yeah, gonna get smoked up by a teammate. He still has a smoke of his own in case they wait and do it again. Poison wanted to flank around, but Stico is just there in time. They also know they've been found on that ramp, so they're gonna change their minds just a little bit here. Oh, and Rush actually finding Farlig. That's not bad.
FAMAS up close for JKS. You want a weapon with multi-kill potential here. The FAMAS might not be the best weapon for the job, but I think he has to step up and get more than one kill on the hold.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is going to have to be at least a double to buy some time. Config is almost there, but he's going to slow down to check middle, and it's not even the one kill. Emmy just charging around the corner. Config now with another FAMAS here, but he's going to get shot in the back, and there's just no chance. There's nothing they could do here. Rush in a 1 versus 4. They're already out looking, and he's going to go down. It's 16-4 in favor of FPX as they take down Complexity in just 2 maps. That is just absolutely incredible. I can't believe what we just saw.
It's just so one-sided. What a performance from FPX. I'm glad we got to see this from them. I'm glad we're getting to see this team show us what they can do, because I think they got a couple of unfortunate matchups in that main tournament, and they come into this game and they just do great.